whenever I see someone less fortunate than I, let's face it, who isn't less fortunate than I? My tender heart tends to start to weep. And when someone needs a makeover, I simply have to take over. I know exactly what they need. And even in your case, though it's the toughest case I've yet to face. Don't worry, I'm determined to succeed. Follow my lead. And yes, indeed, you will be popular. You're gonna be popular. I'll hang with the right cohort. You'll be good at sports. Know the slang you've got to know. So let's start, because we got an awfully long way to go. Hey, y'all.
Hey y'all.
How y'all
Someone's
doing?
ready to see Wicked.
The Wicked Witch. I am kind of. I've been going back
Yeah,
and
I was
forth.
like, you're singing the songs, but when I was like, let's go, you're like, I want to wait until the theaters are empty.
I
Which is
didn't.
valid. I don't like crowded theaters either.
I was about to say, because you were trying to go opening night. I'm like, Maggie.
I didn't say opening night. I was just like, it comes out this weekend. When do you want to go?
Well, I
Like,
said next week because I feel like maybe the crowds will be less.
yeah, it shouldn't be that bad later.
But I do ultimately want to see it. I've been seeing clips on TikTok and it looks really good. So
Yeah, people are crying. I know I'm gonna cry.
we'll
I'm gonna
ball
cry.
like babies. But yeah, I watched The Wizard of Oz today
Oh, you did.
because it's been on top of mind. Well, because of all this wicked stuff, you can't escape it on TikTok. YouTube is now recommending like what really happened on the set of The Wizard of Oz. And it was an awful set.
hmm
Very haunted. But
Well, people are asking the same question for the set of Wicked because why are Ariana Grande and Cynthia constantly in tears?
you know,
What's going on? And so at first I was like, oh, y'all are stupid. Like they just are really close. They're really close. In my head, I'm like, okay, they just became really good friends, and the whole experience was really emotional,
yeah.
them having leading roles. I don't know if Ariana Grande has had a leading role in a movie before, so maybe this was like particularly life-changing for her. I know Cynthia has, I believe, in
I
a play.
know Ariana has always loved Wicked. There's like
hmm
old videos of her being like, "Oh my gosh, I would love to be Glinda." And like I just love Wicked.
hmm
So I think that's why she's getting so emotional.
Yeah.
Cynthia, I think with Cynthia, I've been seeing a lot of behind the scenes things where it's like she did
Oh,
all her own stunts. And
okay.
there's one where she's like up in the air and she's singing and she sounds like amazing and doing all these like flips. She's like wild how talented she is. So I think, she really embodied the role with like her mind, body, and soul. And
Yeah,
now reflecting, it's emotional.
it is.
And
Um, I just looked. She starred in Harriet. I didn't want to assume, but I thought that was her. So it's not her first leading role. But I'm like, look, they made a movie they're really proud of it and they're a little emotional. Everybody's like, they're not just friends. Ain't no way. And then other people are like, what happened to you
y'all,
guys?
they're theater girls on the biggest movie theater
Yeah,
film
like
debut there ever is. The
dream
fact that they
coming
haven't
true.
full on sobbed every second of the way, that's the honest shock of it all.
Yeah, and then they're like actually really sweet. Like before they cry during the interviews, they're always like complimenting the person who's interviewing them and being like really sweet and really nice.
Hmm.
Um, but it is interesting. I was like, man, y'all really went through it because I saw one and they both got like 10 tattoos.
They did. I saw that today too. It was like four good on their hands, half a heart,
Yeah. Cynthia
something
got a
else.
broom and a hat.
I mean, hey.
They got like really small things, but they got stuff. So I'm like, okay. That's
Look,
different. And
that's
so
gonna
again,
be
the comments are like, "What happened to them?"
that's gonna be us in 10 years with this podcast when we win like an award for something. And they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what led you here? And then we just look at each other and we're like, stop, don't do it.
Right.
No.
It
It
started with our laptops and
it started with laptops and a vision. And we always had it. Even if the glasses got foggy, we could see where we were going.
and really honestly, we have to like thank Leah Kateb for putting us on because
Love Island season 6 really did a big one for us.
we did our big one with Love
We
Island
really
season.
did our big one with that one. uh,
Yeah, it's interesting. But I mean, I'm excited to watch it. I am a little concerned about the weight loss though. Ariana's always been petite, but she's like real skinny. So that's one thing that I'm like, okay, y'all might have something there because they both did lose a significant amount of weight.
there has been a lot of discourse online about
Yeah.
it. Some people are saying because there's something like haunted with the Wizard of Oz that
Yeah.
it's translating to Wicked. That might be a bit of a stretch. I will
Right.
say Cynthia doing all her own stunts, she looks very like toned. Like she's been like working out. And like, I don't know, Ariana, she's always been
She's
petite.
always been small, so
So it's kind of like and also I think it depends on the pictures because people will find like this one picture or two where they look bad. And I'm like, y'all, that could also be
yeah,
lighting. Like, y'all don't really want to see
true.
yourselves
From
in
like
bad
yeah, and then
lighting.
they're comparing it to like 5 years ago. So yeah,
Right, where
we
everyone
don't
looks
know their
different.
business. Yeah,
Ariana like was a million times tanner and a brunette. So like,
that's true.
look, I don't know. But, with that being said, very excited to see it. We'll definitely see it. I
I'm
think we should.
excited. Yeah, we gotta
Um,
watch it.
but hey y'all, welcome to the Shade of It All. I'm Brandon.
Hi, Magdala.
And
Excuse my voice.
it doesn't
Someone
sound too
tried to
bad.
someone tried to kill me this week.
The person you lay
Some
with. Is
is
the person
this
you lay with?
the man I love tried to kill me?
Tell him. Tell it to us.
So on Friday, Obi got up and was like, "Oh, I don't feel good." Obi, my partner, I don't feel good. I'm blah blah blah. I was like, "Stay home." He went to work anyway. And throughout his day at work, he's texting me, "I have a fever. Oh, it's cold." He's very dramatic with it. So I'm like, "Okay, he's sick. I think he has maybe like strep throat or something." I've gotten strep throat many times before, so I know what it is. So I'm like, okay. So I create like a little quarantine space for him. I give him the bedroom. I set him up. I'm like, here are your tissues. Discard put the dirty tissues in this trash can. I got him all set up. Friday, he slept like all day when he finally came home. And then I blew up the air mattress and slept in the living room. I'm like, this is comfortable. I'm fine. Saturday, he sounds a lot better. He's feeling a lot better. I'm like, okay, cool. Still sleeping there. I'll still sleep out here. I go to hang out with my friend Brandon. We're playing a little bit of Mario Party. I come home and dude is on my air mattress in the living room. And I was like, sir, the purpose of separation was to keep me healthy. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, all of the sheets and stuff, like I threw them in the dryer, trying to like see if that would clean it, whatever. And I woke up Sunday under the weather, under the bus. Um, and my ears hurt. Never before have I ever had an ear infection, but it's not fun. Like you can't really hear too good. I didn't get a fever, thankfully, which is weird. So his ears never hurt. I think he did have an ear infection or something, whatever. Some viruses can cause ear infections. So Sunday, he's like almost better, and I'm like coming down with it. So Monday, I was out for the count. I was like, oh my gosh.
Maggie's like, I'm in the clinic.
I went to the clinic because I don't play around. Obi doesn't like to go see doctors. I'm like, please, someone give me some medicine so I can feel better in a couple days. So I went to the clinic. They're like, yeah, if you didn't come, like if you waited a couple days, you would have had an ear infection by now, blah, blah, blah. So I take the antibiotics on Monday, but then the body aches came and I
Oh,
was just home. cold and achy by myself. It was really rough. But today is Wednesday, so it's a lot better now. But this man tried to kill me.
I can't believe it. That is him to be on your air mattress.
Literally, I'm like, bro.
I was wondering how you were still up because Maggie had sent me a text. She left here around like 12:30, 1 o'clock. It was kind of a late night, but it
Oh
was
yeah.
Saturday. And then she texted me, sleep well at like 3:30. I saw it like the next morning. I'm like, what are you still doing up?
Actually, Brandon, you gave me the best medicine a girl could get. On
What?
Saturday, we decided to buy Mario Party for the Nintendo Switch. And
Hmm.
Brandon was like, let's get it. And I'm like, I've always wanted it. I have been playing this game nonstop.
Oh my
Like
God, really?
that has been like, oh, I'm homesick, but I can play Mario Party. So I was up playing it, I think, and that's why I texted you. And yeah, I didn't want to put the like super hot sheets on my body yet, so I let them like air out a little bit.
I
But yeah,
love that. I think I'm gonna purchase a
a Switch,
Nintendo Switch.
it's so
Um,
fun.
I'm waiting to see tomorrow what the Amazon Black Friday deal is
Mhm.
because it starts tomorrow. So I'm like, let me see if they're gonna like do something with it.
Yeah,
Maybe they
you
won't, but
should. They are coming out with a new one though.
oh, what is it?
So I guess like an enhanced version. Obi was telling me about it.
Oh, I gotta look up when that's coming out.
Yeah, not my ears hurting.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like, but actually, Brendan, I feel like I was already sick on Saturday, which is crazy because I was with you all day, so somehow you didn't
You
catch it.
were. I
So I
didn't.
think,
I tend to be immune from people's illnesses.
and we're not that up close and personal, so it makes sense. But
Hmm.
on Saturday when we went to the gym, my ears were popping. So I was like, oh,
Okay.
what's going on? It sounded like static in there. You know how loud it is in there. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But Mario Party was the best medicine. If we play again, I think like I'm gonna beat you. Like I think like
Well, considering you beat me the last time, you came in first, I came in last.
we
I got
played.
no stars. Literally, I had
Yo,
the most coins, but I had no stars because anytime I was close, someone would get something to like get right to the star. I was like, are you kidding me? I think I got
it's
close maybe once or twice. I would have at least had one.
it's the
But
most infuriating game. It's almost like Uno. It's almost like getting a draw four twice, and you're just like, bro, what the fuck? No,
right.
it's no. I've been playing against the CPUs obviously because I'm here by
Hmm.
myself, and I've only gotten first place I think once, and I've played like 6 games,
Oh.
so it's still hard to win. But I think
It's
I'm pretty
hard.
good at them anyway.
Yeah, because they even at the end they're like, oh, we'll give stars to this person and that person. It's always random. I didn't get
Yeah,
stars for having the most coins. That should
right.
have been something, but they're like, oh, you sucked. Here's yours, Goomba. It's like,
You were the
okay.
most unlucky. Have a star. And it's like, bro, are you kidding me?
Mm.
So when I won last, I was a savage. I stole from people. I had
Oh,
like four. I was like, no way y'all are getting bonus stars to beat me. But we should play again. It'll be fun. I think you'll
yes,
have
of
better luck next
course.
time.
When you're feeling better, hopefully by this
Yes.
weekend, you should come over and we should play.
Yes.
And then I want to
Yes.
get the Switch so we can even play when you're not here.
Yes.
And then
It'll
I
be
can play
fun.
Mario Odyssey, the
Yes.
start of
Oh,
that
so you
game as
like
well.
it? You
It
like
was
it?
fun. It was good.
I think it's a good game for you, Brandon.
Oh, thank
It
you.
is. I think it's like the perfect amount of like um stuff to do. Odyssey is a
Hmm.
very long game, so you don't have to play it every day, but dude, just ticking away at it is fun.
Right. I'm ready to get in my gamer era and like
Yeah, I'm
do
here
it
for it.
because I like video games and it would be good in like the downtimes when I'm working from home and like it's a slow day. And I'm like, let me
Yeah.
just get the Switch real quick. Or even nights.
No, I feel it. When I first started dating Obi, he already had the Switch and he let me borrow it for a week. I was obsessed. I almost took it to work. This was
Oh,
when everybody worked in person. Almost took it to work. So you're gonna have like that like game addiction for a little bit, and then you'll figure out how to like have it part of your life. He has GameFly, which I recommend because you can rent games instead of buying them.
ooh.
Some games are worth buying. Like I feel like Mario Party has like enough that you can always
Oh
play
yeah.
it. But like Odyssey, after you beat it, you might be like, I don't want it. I don't want this anymore. And so they send you a new game as soon as you're done. And the benefit
Oh,
is you can get new games. Like if a new game is coming out, you can get it like right away.
okay, that sounds fun. We used to go back in the day. We would
Yeah.
go to Blockbuster and get
Oh, get a
games.
game in a movie.
Dead or
Yes.
Alive, that was always a fun game.
Uh-huh.
A good
I
fighting game.
I remember doing that too.
Uh, but we're about to enter that era. With that being said, should we jump into the episode?
Yes, let's do
Of
it.
because
And
we're
try not to
covering
choke
y'all.
on the pod. Oh my gosh.
Oh no,
Okay.
don't choke on the pod. We don't have insurance yet. We're not an LLC. Um, but we're going to be going over the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, episode 6. We're almost done with our journey. I believe there's 2 more episodes. So we're
Oh,
nearing the
really?
end.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
wow.
it's only 8 episodes,
Oh, they're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger then, because some things are
most
not
likely.
resolved. Okay.
Before we jump into this episode, though, I just remembered, I had read something on Twitter. Lady Gaga almost got the role of Elphaba, but then they got a new director and they didn't use her. They used Cynthia Erivo. Do you think Lady Gaga would have been a good Elphaba?
I've never seen the play, so I don't know.
I, you know,
I don't know if she has the right. I don't know in terms of. I mean, if I'm thinking of, so I'm interpreting the question as, can Lady Gaga sing "Defying Gravity" better than Cynthia? And I don't know.
I
Would change it.
will just say I'm glad the director changed. She basically was Elphaba in what was it? A Star is Born. That would have been what the sounded like. We didn't need that, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
she would have had to. We would have changed the. Well, I don't know. I've never seen her. She's more of an alto.
Look, I think Lady Gaga should stick to just singing.
I didn't
I don't
watch A Star Is Born. Was it bad?
I thought it was, and this is an unpopular opinion. I get it. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was fucking boring and terrible. I was like, what is this? Her acting was atrocious.
Oh
That
no.
Shallow song was like the worst song, yet was the biggest song.
Not the song going viral. The movie's terrible.
Yes, and I'm just like, I didn't like it at all. And look, I think again, she should just stick to singing. And
Oh, Lady Gaga, you're the GOAT. But maybe not. You're not Elphaba. But
not
again, I don't
Elphaba.
know what I don't know what Elphaba. I don't know what resume requirements we need to look for to cast Elphaba.
This is true.
But Cynthia's a
Um,
Broadway singer, so
yeah. She's gonna be good. But
either her or Dazina Dazim.
the Nazim,
You know
Adele
what I'm talking about?
Nazim, John
What,
Travolta.
what does
He
he
said it
say?
wrong. Ad
Adina.
Adele Nazim.
Not Adele. Adele
And then she
Dazim.
went to sing, I think, Let It Go from Frozen, and she wasn't that good.
And that was
Um,
the last time John Travolta was at an award show reading cards. I haven't seen him since.
I haven't either. It's very confusing how he came to that name.
Right, he wasn't trying.
The wickedly talented Adele
Does
Nazim.
he?
Huh? Uh,
All right.
but anyways, let's jump into this episode that was quite eventful,
Yeah, not
quite
lots of
awkward.
yeah, some moments I was like, should I be here for this?
Should y'all be here in this scene for this? Like, what's going on? Um, but they enter Vegas this episode, so it's setting the scene for all that, and then
Mhm.
ends in a very kind of sad moment. But
Yeah.
but it starts with the different families getting ready. Whitney and Connor are getting ready for church. Taylor and Dakota are looking at a sonogram. That's kind of
Mhm.
cute. It's sweet when they're not speaking and it's
Right.
just like a moment like that.
And I was like, when did this happen? Because she looks smaller and stuff. Not y'all trying to put, oh, look at Taylor and Dakota. Like, that wasn't happening then.
There's a continuity error here.
Definitely.
Um all the rest of the girls though are at Jesse's salon. And Layla tells us how she loves using this service because she can wash her hair this way, having a bestie that owns a salon. And I'm like, that would be nice actually to have a bestie own a
Oh
salon
yeah.
because you could get so much for like free or heavily discounted.
Absolutely. Like, hey, can you wash my hair real quick? Um, I thought it was they all looked really rough though. Did you peep?
Well, it seemed like it was the last day of their extensions. They needed the refresh.
Everybody's hair looked bad, and then they were all standing there with wet hair, and I was like, "No, why are we doing this?" And then Layla's talking about her hair, and I'm like, "I don't think we've seen your hair." I don't. She was like, "I love getting my hair done, but we didn't see any part of her."
We didn't.
Because I was like, "I'm pretty sure you have extensions, which is fine," but yeah, I just
Yeah.
think that she's like, "I love getting my hair done here." Shows Layla not getting her hair done there.
She's like, this is great. She has like her 44-ounce swig. And she's like, this is
Yeah.
amazing. I do wonder, because I think Gia had told me that Jen, without her extensions, it's like her hair's really short. So
Oh.
I'm like, what did they do to like, is it the extensions that are causing like maybe hair loss or like do they just not take care
Oh.
of their hair?
That's a good question. Maybe she had thin hair at first. Maybe her
Maybe.
hair is really thin.
I don't know, but this is
They all have bobs. Whitney
maybe
bobs.
they might all be on Whitney's level. Whitney's like, I'm the realest one because I'm owning my bob.
This is my hair, my natural hair.
We know Whitney. We know. Michaela says no one's heard from Whitney since the divorce party. And Macy was glad she came. And she's like, oh, mom talk wouldn't be mom talk without Whitney. I'm
Woo,
like,
woo, woo.
anyways, what
Anyways.
was it even?
Wait,
We
are you
discussed that last
recording?
episode. Yes,
Oh,
right? Yes, I am.
yeah.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
sorry.
You
I got
just
scared.
scared me.
I was like, Zoom looks different because usually you can see it. Now I have to move the mouse to see it.
Oh,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry.
Oh, thank God, though. That would have been awkward.
I gave you a heart
Um,
attack.
but Jen reveals that Whitney unfollowed everyone on everything. So she left the group chat, she unfollowed everyone. But this is her boundary.
Yeah,
She's
this
still
is
on the
for
show though.
she
So
is. Jesse's comments were the final straw for her. She's like, "Oh, y'all been talking about me? Bet." And she took herself out.
unfollow.
Unfollow.
Macy's like, I know she's dramatic sometimes and would do shit like this, but I'm just surprised she didn't tell me she was doing this. Macy's like, I
True.
would have been
Macy's
messy
like,
with you. Why didn't you let me in on it?
you unfollowed me? I would have followed all of those. I would have unfollowed all of those hoes for you.
So they're talking about Whitney and all this, like, oh my gosh, she unfollowed us, whatever. And then Michaela's like, why the fuck are we talking about this? This is what she wants. And I'm like, okay, Michaela. Michaela's slowly been keeping it real in public.
Which one's Michaela?
She's a blonde. She was the one with the skin
Oh,
condition,
okay, yes. Yeah,
but
no, she's always kept it a buck. She's like, Whitney just wants attention.
Whitney's just like this. But usually it would just be like in her confessionals, but now
Yeah.
she's doing it more openly, probably because now it seems like she was maybe the sidekick that always secretly hated Whitney. And she's like, so she would like whisper it like in the confessionals. And now that
Yeah.
everyone's like talking about how they hate Whitney, she's like, yeah, fuck her. She's the
Down with
worst.
Whitney.
Ugh. But they go to a party that Jesse is hosting, a painting party that is femininity based. And they have to paint a vagina. And there's drinks with names such as the Pink Pussy and Labialicious.
I was like, what are we doing here? Why? Then she told the purpose, and I was like, okay, it makes it a little bit better.
Yeah, because she's gonna get labiaplasty and like a mommy makeover. So she's like, are celebrating.
No shame on labiaplasties, but Jessie should never describe one ever again.
She should
Her
have.
her talking about it made me want to throw up low key.
It did a little. She was very descriptive. Lots of imagery.
Yeah, she kept saying like my meat, and I'm like, bro, can you stop? Why are you calling it that?
She's
We
like,
could
my
say
meat is
X.
hanging. They're gonna
Yeah.
cut it. I'm like, oh,
Oh, great. I'm
great.
glad you're getting that done.
Happy for you. You know, we support any mommy makeovers and all that. There's just a lot of vagina talk in this party.
Yeah.
And they're like all awkward. So I'm like, this is just
Yeah.
weird.
Jen is like, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh no, what are we saying?
She did look troubled when she first entered. I don't know if you saw her.
She always looks troubled.
She does. I feel
She
bad for
always looks
her.
like
Jen, blink twice if you need help. Zach's mean, right? We know. We know. We'll come rescue you. Let us
Z-
know. Do you need help?
Zach is we'll get to
Mhm.
Zach. He's an interesting one. But guess what she's also planning, Jesse? A trip to Vegas for Layla's birthday. And everyone's going but Whitney. But don't
Yay.
worry, y'all. Whitney's gonna do something really fun.
Oh yeah. I was like, is she gonna show up? But then I remember. It's like, is she gonna make a guest appearance?
Oh, that would have been something, actually. I would have probably respected her a little more. I would have been like,
Right.
okay, Whitney. Layla's excited but nervous because Vegas isn't typically where Mormons go for vacay. It's kind of like all the things they don't do, like drinking and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, then there's a random part where they're like, what do you call your boyfriend or husband's like penis? And Jen's like, I call it a poncho. And I'm like, what?
I thought that meant maybe he's uncircumcised,
I was just gonna say that.
but I don't.
Ew.
I feel like they're religious, so maybe. Well, but I was like, why do we need this? Why do we need this information?
Right. And I don't want to picture Zach,
Mm-mm.
even though you like Zach, so maybe you do.
No, it was the other. No, I said it was Demi's husband, the old man, the older man.
You switched it, but before you knew what he looked like, you said Zach was the hottest.
Yeah, because all of them, well, I just pictured all of them looking like Whitney's husband, and I was like, I don't want him.
Just a whole bunch of
Now Zach can
Connors.
kick rocks with no socks. I don't care how bleach blonde you are.
Taylor goes to her mom's house, and
Why?
that's a good.
Taylor, your mama
That,
don't like you. Where are
that's
we
a,
going over
that's a good question. Why
there?
are you going there? Um,
No, we're
D
just playing. I'm
Dakota
sure
didn't
they
want to
seem like they're
come.
all right with each other.
They do. The mom seems a little more chill.
Yeah.
But Dakota was supposed to come, but he didn't because they got in another argument. And I'm like, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Another one. They get in one like every day. But she's weeks away from delivery and is frustrated that Dakota is bickering with her at this time. And I'm like, he bickered with you the whole time. Like,
Right.
you went to jail because of you guys arguing and like fighting. So, like,
Yeah.
what is surprising you right now?
Right.
But then I guess he said something like, um, why won't you surrender
That's
to
weird.
Taylor? And I'm like, bitch, are you the Wicked Witch of the West?
Surrender.
Surrender,
On God.
Dorothy.
We're sword
Surrender.
fighting. Yield.
Dakota's a spooky figure.
Yeah. And so this is so I wanted to understand. So you're just like, girl, you need to hurry up and marry me. And she's like, no. And then you guys just argue back and forth over and over again
And
over
he's just
that.
like, what the fuck? Why do you want
Why
to
would you
fucking
marry
marry
me?
me? Surrender. Take this ring. Take it.
Like, you're just gonna argue about how the same thing over and over again and just not listen to her? Like, that's what it sounds like. Like, she's saying no, you're not listening, and then you guys keep getting in arguments and you cry and you whine and you're like, why won't you marry? Maybe give her some time. Fuck, you're already having the baby. The baby's coming. You
Right?
know, like it's like you could work on this. You could take time, see how things go, hope for a change. But to just yell at a pregnant woman and ask her to marry you over and over again sounds exhausting.
Yeah. And it's like, if why don't you act like marriage material, Dakota?
That part.
Why would anyone want to marry like someone who like wears a ball cap indoors at all times and acts the way you act.
Or
Like,
like just throws a fit when you don't agree with them. Like that's not a compromising relationship anybody wants to be in. But I guess he's got this Mormon man mentality that you got to do what I say.
I guess, but I do like that Taylor's sticking her ground when it comes to the marriage.
Right.
But
Oh, Brandon, did you notice she and her mom were eating sandwiches and I wrote the world's smallest sandwiches on the world's smallest plates? I don't know if you saw. They
I don't
were
think I
incredibly
did.
small sandwiches. It was like sandwich with like some dressing or something on this tiny little plate and they had water. I was like, who set up this lunch?
Oh my God, maybe it was like those little like tea sandwiches.
Yeah. I was like, this is weird. It just looked really weird on a super small plate.
Uh,
Anyway.
Taylor calls Dakota
Oh yeah.
and he doesn't answer and he texts saying, I'm not going to answer. But then she texts saying, I'm going into labor because her mom's like, tell him you're going into labor. I want to talk to him.
Hmm.
And it's like, this feels
Giving
interesting.
some toxic energy, mom.
A
Why
lot
would
of
you
toxic energy.
why would you recommend that she does that? That's weird.
I mean, I guess it's on par for Taylor's mom. She's like, I'm gonna talk to Dakota. I'm gonna talk to him. Tell me you're going to labor.
Force him to call. I'm gonna force him to call us, so we have to
Yeah.
talk to him.
Why isn't Dakota here? I'm like, when did you get pro Dakota? Like, what is
Right.
happening?
That's a good question. We've missed a lot.
I guess so,
Because she
but
wasn't pregnant the last time we saw her yelling at Taylor.
no, ever since she's been pregnant, she hasn't yelled at her
That we've seen.
that we've seen. So
Yeah.
that's good at least.
Yeah.
But well, actually, she technically was pregnant, but she didn't have that baby.
Oh, right, right, right.
So she doesn't give the reason she yelled was because she said she's pregnant. So yeah, probably off camera, she's
Yeah.
deciding to yell at her. But Taylor's mom jokes with him about not answering, and she's like, you should be here. And he's like, well, it's your daughter's fault. She didn't want me to go. And I'm
Hmm.
like, why are you talking like that to someone's mom? Like, I don't, it's just so bizarre. I'm
It's
like,
childish.
where's the decorum?
She didn't want to play with me, so I didn't come. And it's like, okay,
Duh.
you're being a big ass kid.
I'm
Like
getting on my skateboard.
she
He's
took her
one that
ball and she
will
left. I
he'll get
wanted to
like a
play.
ripstick. He's a ripstick guy. It. Oh my
I could
gosh.
see it. I could see it.
He's like, fine, Taylor. And he like
Actually,
sashays with the ripstick because you have to do it. Like, I could never ride a ripstick.
they look hard. Hats off to people who could do that.
All my neighbors could, and I couldn't. I was like, I don't have a good sense of balance. Like, this isn't good. The mom, though, does give some good insight to Dakota and Taylor. She's like, look, it's not about y'all anymore. It's about this baby you're about to have.
Hmm.
And he's like, oh, you know what? Taylor needs to either commit or just end this. And I'm like,
Again.
Taylor, end this. Taylor,
he,
run.
he didn't hear one word your mom said. He's like, I want this baby more than anything. I want my family. If he can't talk to you without crying, run. All
Run.
caps, run.
You got this, Taylor. You're almost there. I could feel it.
Hmm.
But Jen and Layla visit Jessie after her surgery, and she also got her boobs done.
She
She's like,
did.
might as well while I'm under. And
Yeah.
she's like, I'll just recover once instead of twice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
look, he's smart.
Yeah.
And she's like, recovery's gonna suck, but it's just once. And she has to wait 4 to 6 weeks before having sex. And then Demi pops up and she has tulips for her two lips. And I was like, that was funny.
I had a moment when Demi walked in. I thought it was Jessie, and I was like, "How'd she get over there?" And then she was like, "Hi," and I was like, See, "Brandon was saying that these girls are like twins, and
You're
they
like, what is this
are."
witchcraft? How is there two?
You were just over here. How'd you get over there?
Whoa.
Yeah.
uh,
No,
but
but for just having surgery, Jessie's a champ. Okay, she's like, and I'm going to Vegas. What about it?
she is. She's like, I can still go to Vegas. It's still going to be fun and it's totally okay. Do you guys want to see my vagina? You can see it right now. And then she just exposes it to everyone. And I'm like, oh, I mean, good for you.
So
But
awkward. I was like, is it okay to look at? You just had surgery.
She said apparently it looked, how she describe it? She described it as like a hot dog or something.
Oh
Because I
yeah,
guess
she's
it's
like
swollen right now.
Jesse's so funny. She's like, yeah, it's supposed to look like a hot dog, and it does. It's like, okay.
All right.
All
Uh,
right, thanks. And
she's
they're like,
funny.
because I wouldn't know what the fuck to look for.
Right? I'm like, is it supposed to look like that? Uh,
And her
but she
just standing up in the bed, like, how do you have the energy to do all this? You had surgery 2 days ago.
she must have some good painkillers.
Yeah.
Um, but she does reveal that Taylor is gonna come, but also Zach and Dakota are gonna drive together and they're gonna come as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse's like, I think they're just trying to keep an eye on their women because they have control issues. And I'm like,
Sounds about right.
it does sound right. Sounds toxic. The two worst men coming to join y'all in Vegas.
Literally.
Um, but then they're all packing and like having small talk with their husbands. And this is where Zach reveals that if Jen goes to Magic Mike, then being divorced with two kids will be difficult.
I was like, what? She can't even joke about going to see Magic Mike. You're like, wow, have that's
You're
crazy.
gonna
He
be
went from
single. Also, the implication as if like, okay, so you're gonna make her be a single mom, like you're not gonna take care of the kids.
that
Like,
part. He's like,
but
I'm gonna find a new wife who will obey me, and you
right,
can raise these kids.
mind you, his lame ass, it's like, look at my jacket for poker. It's gonna work because it doesn't let you get too hot and like
And
all
you can
this.
cover your neck when you're doing certain things so nobody sees the vein in your like, what the fuck, Zach? What did he tell you
Like,
about? I've never
ew,
heard of
go
that.
home. What are you
And
doing? Do
then
not
he's
go
like,
to
Mommy,
Vegas.
where's my allowance? Like, pick a side.
Right. He's like, can I just have some money? And like she's like, I'll give you 2,500, but if you lose it, you don't gamble the rest of the year. And that this is where I think she also tells the producer, she's like, yeah, we can talk about it as long as like we don't make it seem like he's like an addict. And I'm
I'm
like,
like,
it's
y'all
giving
would
addict.
y'all would include that soundbite. Brandon, gambling with $2,500 is a lot of money
That is. I
for someone
just
who doesn't work.
right.
That's a lot, I feel.
I could never gamble that much.
And then he's like, "Yeah, if I run out, I'll just be done." And it's like, "What? We're not winning? Fuck!
Easy
You
for
need to
you to
bring home some
say.
money.
It's
We're
not your
not winning."
money.
That part.
Yeah,
But
I would be nervous to gamble $50, let alone 2,500.
I've only been to the casino. I've been to the casino maybe twice, and I always start with 20 bucks, and what's gone is gone. I'm like, okay, if
I'm
I'm
like,
not
I'll take my losses.
right, like if I use all of it, then I'm done.
Uh, yeah, I've never been to a casino.
It's fun. Well,
I should go one day.
I had a friend show me how to play they have like a roulette machine at the Hard Rock,
Oh,
and that's fun to play, but I never did like slot machines or anything like that.
I would want to do slot machines, but I feel like I'd get addicted to slot machines. I'd just be like, again,
I got this next one. I got it.
I got it, I promise.
But I've never
Banana,
played
banana.
like a game at a table or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not good at stuff like that. Like, I don't really know how to play poker or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm good with cheap bets. A
mhm,
dollar bet. I can I'll
perfect.
bet $1. That's fine.
Uh,
But yeah, I
but
was surprised by Zach's response to saying divorce with two kids. Like, okay.
yeah, it was pretty shocking because it was just like he didn't seem like he was joking. It was very like 0 to 100.
It was.
And then
And
it
I don't
showed,
think, oh, go ahead.
oh no, you go.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I think she was just joking.
Yeah,
Because she's like, oh, if I
right.
go to Magic Mike, what will you do? And he's like, divorce you immediately.
It seemed like she was
Oh,
just like making conversation for like, we're going to Vegas. What do they have? Magic
yeah,
Mike. And he's like, oh, you'll be single. Oh, yeah, you'll be single.
that's
It's like,
tough.
okay.
Yeah,
And then it's just a flashback to her asking him for more help, and he's just like so annoyed. He's like,
yeah,
no, I get it. I know. Oh no. Oh, why are you asking me to do things? Responsibilities, no. Oh.
yeah.
And I'm
That's
like,
sad too.
yeah,
Because their baby is young. Luca's young. They have a
Yeah,
young baby at home.
they do.
And that first year with the young baby, I've heard, is a lot of work.
Well, it doesn't seem like he's helping.
Yeah.
But Macy is not happy Dakota is coming because he's being controlling, and she also may have some info to confirm her feelings.
It's like, okay, I'll leave this right here and we'll come back to
Right.
it.
Taylor can't fly, so she's gonna drive with Zach and them. And she arrives at Zach and Jen's place, and she's like, Dakota just got in a big fight with me. And like, I kicked him out of the car. He was like pouting. And I was like, I don't know what to do to help. And he's like, you just don't care. And so I made him get out of the car and like threw his shit out. Like, okay.
Brandon, the way that she actually delivered the information just like that, but her face, she looked like she'd been through it. Like she didn't have any makeup on. She was just like, she just looked stressed the fuck out. Like she looked traumatized low key when she was explaining what happened. And I didn't even really understand because she was like, we fight every 2 days or something. And then, yeah, they got in an argument and he was upset that she wasn't comforting him.
Yeah.
The
I
argument
think because she
sounds
later
funny to
says
me.
it seems like he gets in like moods and is like sad. And she's just like, I just don't know what to do to help you. He's like, you don't care. You don't care.
Oh my gosh. Dakota
And
is a diva.
Dakota is, but he apparently texted her an apology.
Which I was
Um,
surprised by.
but she's like, I need to break the cycle. And I'm like, okay, yes, leave him. You're still
Please.
gonna have to co-parent, but at least you don't have to romantically be with him.
Yeah,
Like, cut
right.
your losses where you can, you know?
Right. Right. No, it sounded so chaotic. And poor Jen and Zach are like, we gotta go. We kind of have to drive somewhere. Like,
Right.
are
They're
y'all
like, it's
okay?
gonna be a long drive. And he's like, yeah, I don't know if Dakota's coming. And he says he's someone's gonna come. I don't know. And then Dakota pops up. He's like, hello. And he has the
Yeah,
ball
he's like,
cap on.
hey guys. And then
And they're
Taylor's
like, oh
like,
fuck,
hi.
Dakota's here.
It's very awkward.
Yeah. And they're like, are you still going, Dakota? And he's like, yeah, in case she goes into labor.
Gotta be there with her. I
And
want to take care of her.
right. I'm like, what are you gonna do, sir? But he apologizes for what happened and he cries because he feels lost and confused about them. And he's like, we're just not teammates. And it's like,
And I think Taylor is like, yeah, we need to like, yeah, he was like, oh, I want to know that you have my back and I have your back and blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like she's probably confronting him on things that he doesn't want to deal with. And so he takes that as her not being on his team.
yeah.
Um,
He's like, you reprimanded me or you told me I did something bad. You don't have my back.
you don't have my back. And Taylor's like, I am so pregnant. We're having a baby in 8. I'm tired. I'm the one who needs support and whatever. And
Right.
dude is on the couch crying, like eyes purple. Like he
And she's
looks
just
so
over
upset.
it. She has her tired bun and she's like, I don't know what
Hmm.
you want from me. And he's just like, I want you to act like you care. And
So
she's like,
because you're not getting a reaction out of her, it means she doesn't care.
right. And she
Ah,
even said, she's like, it's hard to like give in to someone when we just keep repeating the same toxic cycle.
yeah.
And then this is where Jen's like, okay, y'all, we got to continue this on the road because we got to go.
Zach's like, we have somewhere to, I kind of have slots to play and like, money to gamble. Like, we got to
He's
get on the
like, my
road.
jacket's currently preheating, and in 2 hours, it's going to be the perfect temperature for blackjack. So I need to get to Vegas. Um, I did wonder with this, because we know Taylor's issue, a lot of it comes from like the beginning of the relationship and him choosing that other girl before
Yeah.
him. Do we think a part of her is like kind of getting back at him and making him feel unwanted
Oh.
because he did that to her and she's like, no, I have the power, bitch. And like, look, not faulting her for it, just saying if maybe subconsciously she's a little like, you didn't want me, so now I don't know if I want you.
I actually think that Taylor knows that this relationship is not good for her. And
Well, that
so deep
part.
down, she's like, nah, I'm not committing to this nonsense. Especially because she just got out of a relationship that may have been similar. She doesn't talk about it a whole lot, but remember
Yeah.
their first fight, she was like, "You don't own me, you don't control me." So I think she's still on that like, "No, Dakota, you don't get to have your way. If I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it."
Right.
Um, and then like I don't know, and Dakota also Dakota's a dumbass. Look, I wouldn't like Dakota can't like sell water to a fish. Like he's so
No.
annoying because in the car they're like, she's like, we need to break this cycle, and he's like, yes, we have to break the cycle, and by breaking the cycle, we can break the cycle. And it's like, Dakota, what are you
He's
talking
like,
about?
breaking the cycle, I think will make us stronger. And it's like, okay, then do the work to break the cycle. A marriage
Right,
isn't going to break the cycle. That's just going to make the
right.
cycle legally binding.
That part,
It's
your
going to have a
trauma is
contract for the
permanent.
cycle.
Right. And he's just like, yeah, we gotta break it. I agree. Let's break the cycle. It's like,
Marry
Dakota,
me. And she's like, oh my God.
you're not listening. Can't talk to this man.
Right. And
Uh,
meanwhile, Jen's like, look, y'all, a baby is going to be the ultimate test. So that will show y'all if
yeah.
y'all are meant to be. The rest of the girls arrive to the Airbnb in Vegas, and it actually looks really nice. But they hope that Zach and Dakota don't show up and hang out with them.
They're like, we don't want those boys here at all.
They can't be with us. And Jesse makes a sign that says Labias only. And she's like, it's disrespectful as fuck that they didn't ask before they came.
Hmm.
And I'm like, it is pretty awkward that they didn't even like bring it up. They were just like, we're going.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that from the perspective of the person who was booking stuff. That is kind of messed up to just invite yourself.
Mm-hmm. But the producers were like, come, go to
We're
Vegas.
actually paying for all of this. Don't worry
So
about what Jesse says.
don't worry about formalities. Dakota, of course, ignores the sign and it's like, Labias only. Yeah, right. And
Knock,
Zach's like,
knock,
there
let
better
me
not
in,
be any male
bitches.
strippers. Let me in, let me in. Zach's like, there better not be any male strippers. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna be the strippers.
And they're like, he's like, I'm just joking. No, I'm not. Jen, you
I'm
better act
not.
right.
Act
Do you
right,
want to be
Jen.
divorced with two kids? I already don't help you, so I'm definitely not gonna help you then.
So guess when there's actually honestly, she should be like, you know what? He does nothing. At least it's one less person in the house.
Right. She's like, I'm basically already a single mom.
Right. But they finally leave. And Jen's like, sorry we're late. Taylor and Dakota wouldn't stop fucking arguing. And Taylor's like, yeah, we fought about this and that and da 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 da. Macy's like, I have a secret and I really want to say it, but I'm gonna wait. And it's like, what is the secret?
Yeah.
But Jen says she's gone through this with Zach and therapy has helped and they should consider it. I would argue she's still going through it with Zach,
Yeah.
but they do need therapy if they're going to decide to stay together.
I agree. Or at least try to figure out how to co-parent.
Right. Jesse's like, cute chat, amazing. We got to get ready for a surprise.
Enough of your problems. It's Layla's birthday, almost kind of. It sounded
Almost
like
in a
it
way.
wasn't
You're
Layla's
right.
birthday. They were like making it a thing.
They're like, we're going to celebrate Layla because she's kind of the most likable of all of us. So let's go to Vegas.
Yeah.
But Macy misses Whitney and thinks she shouldn't isolate herself. And this is where we cut to what Whitney is going to be doing with her time. Her and her
Whoa.
family are going to a farm to learn how to live a homestead life.
With the children too. And I was like, is this sanitary?
No, it was so stupid. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I want to like get a farm and like just get away from mom talk and like have my own farm where we can live. And I'm like, girl, bye. You don't want a farm that's isolated like that. You need too much attention. You better make sure that it has fucking Wi-Fi so you can make your weird ass dancing videos in the barnyard,
Yeah.
Whitney.
That part. No, I was like, I don't know if homestead life is for y'all. It looks like a lot.
It looked too much. And Whitney's like, look, the reason I didn't want to go to Vegas was because of my conversation with Jesse. And after that, no one bothered to clear the air with me. So no one checked in on me, even though I didn't want to be around anyone and I wanted space, but still, no one checked to see if I was okay.
Girl, you want people to call you so bad, even though you act like you don't want to talk to anybody. She's so annoying.
We go back to Vegas and the girls are getting ready, and Macy finally reveals her secret, but to Michaela. And apparently, she does these like anonymous confession things called Sinner Sundays, where people can just like submit random confessions. And someone confessed about Dakota and says they slept with him before they knew that he was with Taylor. And they think it's that Jenna girl that is the girl Taylor would leave Dakota for. Like, if she found out they actually slept together, Taylor would
Mhm.
hate him and like leave him. And then Demi's like, look, Taylor said she would leave him and she should know before they end up married. Because if this is going to be a deal breaker, then she needs to have this knowledge just in case she were to like agree to marry him, which is very true.
Yeah. Do you think this information is helpful for her to know right this moment?
I mean, well, honestly, Macy should have told her because apparently she found out a month ago.
Oh my gosh, she's been sitting on it.
I'm like, she should have told her as soon as she found out.
I don't think this is real. Do you think this is real?
I
The
mean,
timing is too good. Taylor just so happens to mention the thing at the girls' party. Oh, I would leave him if I found out. And then, oh, I have the information she was looking for to make her choice. Oh, staging nonsense.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, they had a screenshot of it, but maybe it was fake. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I wrote that message actually. It was
Oh,
me.
you did.
And also, I didn't know you could put like private things on, was it Instagram?
I think so. Or it looked like a different app.
I've
I,
never seen that you could post a poll or a question and not see who asked it.
yeah, I don't know. I think because I know there were used to be stuff like back in the day, like Form Spring was something you could do like anonymous things. I know you can
Hmm.
do like polls and stuff on like Instagram and like questions, but I think it's not anonymous. You could see who does it. It looked like it was a different app,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
But we go back to the farm for whatever reason, and they pick up horse poop.
Hmm.
And then Whitney's like, I don't like that people think I'm running away. It's me removing myself from a toxic situation.
What's the difference between running away and removing yourself? Running away implies that you left. Removing yourself implies that you left. You left. You
Right.
left. She's like, oh, I don't want you to make it seem like I left abruptly because I was scared. Okay, say that. But you left. So, the fuck?
Yeah.
We're arguing
Like,
semantics now.
and
Stupid.
it seems like you're the toxicity.
Right.
So, but I mean, pop off, I guess. Whatever you have to say to make yourself feel better.
Right. And she's like, those bitches still haven't called me.
They haven't called me, and I know I would have made Vegas even more fun. And it was like, what? So you could wear like a dinner cloth table dress?
Oh my God. So you could scoff at all their activities.
Like, really, Whitney, what would you have done that was so fun?
Right.
But it cuts back to Vegas, and Jesse says she planned something so these bitches can stop being so uptight. And they all get on a party bus. And Jen's nervous. Apparently, Zach's nervous. And Jesse's even like, I'm nervous your husband's gonna hate you after this. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're on the way, and it turns out the surprise is Chippendales.
Hmm.
And Jesse got them VIP packages so they can go backstage and meet all the guys.
Yeah.
And they like talk to the guys. One of them gives Layla some oil to rub on him and all this. It seems like it's a lot, but it's really like they're not doing it like that crazily. She's basically
It's
like 2 feet away, just like rubbing it. Like they're making conversation. It's not that bad.
it's very innocent interaction with these like really nice guys.
Right.
We're
And
all just like, hey, yeah, nice to meet you. Hey, yeah, nice. Not like, oh, are you married? It's time to
right.
fuck. Come over here. You know what I mean?
Come
Like,
on.
I feel like that's how like some people are but it's honestly a very innocent reaction. Granted, well, I don't know, but I just felt like the interactions were very small.
It
Like,
was like a big nothing burger, but then you have Jen quaking in her extensions, like, I'm just so disturbed. We're all married
yeah.
women, and like, I feel guilty even though we're doing nothing.
She's looking down and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if you feel guilty because of this or if you feel guilty because you know how Zach is.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the Zach thing.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to be associated. This goes against Mormonism. I'm like, please relax. Like,
And
that.
oh, good.
No, I was just gonna say it's fine if you don't want to take pictures, I guess, but don't be so fucking annoying about it. I don't know.
I was just like, if you're really like that uncomfortable from jump, just leave. I know
Yeah,
that's easy for me to say from my couch, but like she was because
as
it
someone
is a
who's
group
not in
thing.
Vegas right now,
Yeah, like
just
you went to
go.
it was a group function. I mean, your husband is in Vegas. I guess you could take an Uber and meet up with them. It would, it might be a little awkward and stuff. I feel like she felt obligated to stay, but I'm like, if it was really that deep, you could just not go and be like, "Nah, guys. No, Jesse, you should have told me what we were going to. I'm really upset you didn't mention it. I don't feel comfortable being here." You know?
Yeah, because it was like a surprise and like she had no idea and she wouldn't have wanted to go. It was just weird because even from the beginning, she was saying she was like disturbed when they were just talking to the guys and like backstage.
Yeah.
So it's like you're just being annoying.
I think it's because they were all shirtless and stuff, and so she felt bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because you had people like Macy and Jesse whose husbands were like, "Go have fun. It's fine. I don't care what you do. I don't care
Yeah.
where you go." And then you have people like Dakota and Taylor whose husbands were a little more like, "No." I mean, not Dakota and Taylor. Taylor and
Jen.
Jen, whose husbands
Hmm.
were like, "No, don't do that." So I kind of understand why she's like bugging out, but it's unfortunate that she has to freak out like this, you know?
Yeah. She gets made to feel even worse. And she's just like saying, if they try to make me go on stage, I'm out. And
Yeah.
Zach's gonna divorce me over this. And then it cut to Taylor. She's like, Dakota's mad, but he's always mad, so who cares? I'm like, period.
And I was yeah, no, Dakota, look, Taylor's done with Dakota. She's been done. She's like, I told him
Right.
to get his shit out of my car. If he's gonna pull this stuff
She's
when
like,
we're
I'm
in
always in
Vegas,
trouble. This is fine.
I don't care anymore. She's
Yeah.
like checked out. But I was like, why would you text them though to tell them what you're doing?
I guess just to like try to like for transparency and to be honest, if you know they're gonna be uncomfortable, it's like, well, I'm gonna let you know
Okay,
while
that
it
makes sense.
happens and like make it clear I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because even apparently Michaela's husband's upset, but we don't really hear much other than that.
That was so random.
It
Michaela just walks
was.
into the room and she's like, "Yeah, I was just arguing with Jace." And she sits down.
She's
And
like,
then
it's fine.
Jesse's like, "I'm stuck with all of these boring wives and moms."
Right. She's like, these men ruin everything. My husband doesn't care. So I don't know, something's up with y'all's relationships that your husband's so controlling. And it's like, well, yes, Jesse, they are dysfunctional relationships.
Yeah, and that's when I was like, okay, all shits aside, like if you have boundaries in your relationship, you should respect those. And so I do think it's a little kind of like rough for Jesse, who knows that everybody has varying levels of like conviction and things that they think are okay and not okay, to just bring everybody to Chippendales in a
Right.
backstage VIP experience without giving them a heads up and without giving them a way out. Like that is kind of fucked up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
Like
it was
all of
like
them,
producers being like, so we're gonna play in the Chippendales. Jesse, this
yeah.
is your surprise.
Which is also still very fucked up because like
Hmm.
the way that Zach gets upset, he doesn't care about the show. He's like, why are you there? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So I feel like bad because it's like, okay, well, if the guys really hate it and the girls feel that bad about it, then like they shouldn't have to stay.
True. And I wonder too, because this is the first season. They're all new to this reality TV thing. They may feel as though they can't leave
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
So it could just be like they're like, we have to do this, like this is our job, or like we'll get in trouble if we
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's
Yeah.
layers,
There are, because I asked, actually after the episode, I was like, I wonder what Obi would do. So I asked him, I was like, okay, if I went to a strip club in Vegas with friends, let's say it's a bachelor or something, would you be upset? He's like, no, like that's okay. And I'm like, what if I was backstage rubbing oil on them? He was like, oh, we might have to talk about that before you go do it and like both
might need
be
to have a slight discussion about that.
because would I want him rubbing oil on some stripper? You
Probably not.
know?
The oil is the little like okay, but it
Yeah.
was Layla who was doing it, and she's single.
Nah.
She just had a divorce
Right.
party.
Right. So I was like, okay, like, but that's my relationship. I unfortunately, I mean, I think this is like the bit, right? They're Mormons. Let's bring them to Sin City and put
Yeah,
strippers in front of them and see what's gonna happen. And so production hates you and all of your relationships, and they don't give a fuck if you guys get divorced or not over this.
basically, they're trying to make content, y'all.
Yeah.
But
Welcome
Demi,
to the show.
welcome to reality TV. Y'all wanted this mom talk.
Right.
But Demi's like, this is all strange. Girls should be allowed to like do things and like be trusted that they're going to be loyal to their men
Mm-hmm.
and like all that, which is true.
Yeah.
But Jen calls Zach and they go to get in an argument and she just starts breaking down. And we really can't hear what he's saying at all, but it just doesn't sound great based on her reaction.
Yeah, she starts sobbing.
And I guess he also said, because she gets off the phone, I think, and I think Taylor goes to hug her. And she says, he said he doesn't want to be married if I do stuff like this.
Mhm.
And it's like, it seems like he was probably like shaming her.
For going. Like, why would you
Hmm.
do that? And she was like, but you like basically like remember my character. Like, you know who I am. And like,
Right.
I
I
wouldn't
didn't know
do
you were
anything.
like those girls.
Yeah, he probably is saying something crazy like that, which is so weird to me because I feel like out of all of the husbands, Zach looks the youngest and like the most free-spirited. Yet he's like the most uptight. I mean, looks can be deceiving, but it just is ironic to me. Like he's like this young, like surfer looking kid who like stereotypically would smoke weed and then like, just be a fuck boy. He's like the
Yeah.
most conservative but has a gambling addiction. I don't know, it's
Right.
weird.
He's a little bit of an enigma.
Definitely. Definitely.
Like, and yeah, he just
Yeah.
seems scary.
Yeah.
But Jen does acknowledge he thinks this is about more than just Chippendales.
Ah,
Like it's
so
something with their relationship or like something
okay.
deeper. And it's like, well, I mean, clearly he doesn't make money. He expects to still be like the seen as the sole supporter or like
Uh-huh.
the top dog, even though you make more money. He doesn't help with the kids. He seems very controlling.
Hmm.
You like it's definitely a lot more than just you going to Chippendales. Um,
Definitely. Definitely. Because Taylor explained, she's like, we told them we were coming here. They were fine with it. And then I guess something changed. She's
mhm.
like, so why is he upset now? Like Taylor was trying to like walk her through this.
Yeah. I don't know, but it ends with that basically, like a little bit of not really a cliffhanger, but kind of a cliffhanger. We'll see more because next episode, it seems like we're gonna get the actual show, the Chippendale
Hmm.
show. Jen is missing.
Yeah, I only saw Jesse and maybe Macy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on there. Dakota goes to talk to Taylor and she's like crying. They get into another fight. Shocker. And it seems like Macy's going to tell Taylor about the secret.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
There was also a clip of Taylor on the phone with Dakota, and she's like, yeah, when we met them. And he's like, you met them? And Dakota starts yelling, and Taylor just hangs up the phone and
Oh yeah,
drops
she's
it
like, "Oh,
next to
why
her.
are you mad?"
She's like, no, you're not. One thing you're not going to do is yell at me through my cell phone.
No, not on my cell phone.
She hung up on him.
As she should.
Yeah, I don't know. This is sad.
It is.
This is very sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Taylor and Jen to leave their men. I know easier said
Definitely.
than done, but they need to do it. I think they're all still together as of today, so that's unfortunate. Um, but I will say a little T, I think Jen might be on the outs with a lot of the girls because I guess a lot of girls like either unfollowed her with the recent filming that's been going on or something
Oh,
happened. So I don't know if Jen's like turning things up a little bit.
yeah, I'm curious.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Dakota seems like an unreasonable person. I'm curious to like see if they're gonna let us see Jen and Zach actually have an argument. Because if he's as hard-headed as Dakota, then yeah, like you need more
Yeah.
than therapy. And like, are you going to a Mormon therapist that's like, yeah, you should submit. Yes, make sure you
Zach
please your
gives me the
husband.
guy that like he doesn't yell maybe, but it's like terrifying.
Yeah.
Like he's saying the most vicious things with a slight smile and an even
Hmm.
tone that it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, that makes sense because of how scared she is of everything.
Yeah,
And I don't know if that's because of religion or if that's because of him, but I wonder.
probably
It makes
both.
you wonder. Because she was very much like, oh, I just had to look at the floor. The floor? Girl, you can't look at a shirtless guy. Like,
Right? Like,
he's
and
got a
you're
bow
not the one
tie
rubbing
on.
oil on him. You're just there.
Right.
Also, don't go on stage. You don't have to go on stage.
Right.
Like,
So,
I don't know, but
yeah.
it's unfortunate, but it seems like they're gonna turn up in the show next week. So
We'll
can't
see
wait
what
to watch
happens.
that.
Vegas part two.
Yes. Only two more episodes left of this journey, and then we gotta find something else.
Oh, yeah. We do start looking.
Yeah, we gotta start looking, and maybe a little bit of the format's gonna change with this pod. We've been discussing things.
Oh,
We have things
yeah. You
working.
might
We
see
got
us a
things
little different.
brewing. To
Uh-huh.
bring it back to our witch motif of the episode, we have been brewing what we're gonna do. But in the meantime, y'all should be rating us 5 stars on
Do
Apple
it.
Podcasts and Spotify, leaving a review. I actually saw we had a new review today on Apple Podcasts.
Oh my gosh, what does it say?
Let me read it. It was pretty short. It was kind of funny because apparently I said something wrong.
Oh, I'm dead.
They gave us 5 stars, which was nice, and the title was good! Exclamation point. And then it said, Brandon calling BYU, the Mormon uni, BYOB, and then had some laugh crying faces. I guess I called it BYOB, and I didn't realize I did.
BYU? What's BYU?
That's the like Mormon university. I don't know what it stands for, but that's where Zach graduated from.
Oh, you said the.
I guess I said BYOB.
What does that mean?
Bring your own
Mind your.
beer.
Oh, why did I think it was mind your own business?
Mind your
Oh,
business.
MYOB. MYOB. I was like, why does that sound so familiar?
You're like, I know this
Um,
acronym.
I know this.
Um,
This is bringing something going back into my middle school brain.
uh,
MYOB. Oh, okay, okay. I don't
but
remember you. I don't remember any of this.
I don't either, but
That's
we yap a lot, so I
we
probably
do.
did.
That's funny that they mentioned that, but thanks for
Yes.
rating.
Thank you, Rand717, RANDE 717. We appreciate it.
Go off.
But yeah, y'all can leave a review just like that and give us 5 stars. We love those. And we'll shout
Hmm.
you out too.
We will.
If you want to see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to our voices, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Shade of It
You
All
too.
Podcast. You can follow us
Hmm.
on TikTok at the Shade of It All Podcast, Instagram at the Shade of It All Pod, and we will talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.